'Twas the night before Christmas Eve. Hey friends, welcome back to another Advent calendar video. We are on day 23 and we are painting my favorite thing to paint in the winter, which is a tree. We're gonna try and add some ornaments on it. Let's hope it works out. But either way, I love painting trees. Or do we want to do a snowy tree? Or do we want to do both? Am I gonna make this a longer video? Maybe. It's one of my favorite things to paint. So let's see where this ends up. Please, if you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single video this month. All right, let's get started. Okay friends, today we are on to our Christmas tree illustration. We are getting so close to the end. For this, I'm using my Arches cold press watercolor paper, my Winsor Newton professional watercolors, my round brushes in a size 2 and 6. I'm not using a pencil and eraser this time, but I am going to be using some masking fluid. You don't have to use masking fluid for this. I just kind of want to try it. And what this does, if you don't know, is when you apply it to the paper, it will remain, or it'll keep the whiteness of the paper underneath so you can do details later. I'll show you what I mean. You don't need this, but it's pretty cool. It's a way to not have to go around small detailed areas. And to apply the masking fluid, I have this like silicone, it's not a brush, but it's like a tip here. And if you were to use it with a brush, you make sure that it's a poopy brush that you don't care if it gets ruined. I do have videos on how to use masking fluid on my channel, so you can always just type in MLFA masking fluid and you can learn how to use it there, but that's what we're going to be using today. And if you don't want to use this, you can always use a white opaque paint mixed with color to do some of the decorations on the tree. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is apply my masking fluid, and basically what I'm doing is just marking out little areas of where I want decorations to be. So I'm just taking my masking fluid and I'm just putting them, I'm imagining a tree shape, okay? So obviously like a rectangle, and I'm just doing spread out dots of where I want ornaments to be. It could be ornaments, it could be lights. Okay. And what this is going to do is it's going to harden, and then we're going to wait till it's completely dry, and then we're going to paint our tree. And then when the tree is completely dry, we lift up these little masking fluid dots and it reveals the white of the paper underneath. So we can go over it with color if we like. This is not as spaced out as I wanted it to be, but that's fine. But we're just doing it. And it will reveal the whites of the paper so you can create your ornaments if you like. Just a different way of doing it, but like I said, you can always use an opaque paint to do your ornaments over top of the tree. I'm gonna make this a bit bigger. You can do little ones, big ones. Okay. I think that's it. So I have to let this completely dry. And the way that you know that masking fluid is completely dry is it kind of, this one turns a bit yellow and it becomes kind of tacky to the touch, like a rubbery consistency. So we're going to wait until this completely dries. Okay, now that it's dry, we can start painting the tree. So see how it's just, it feels kind of yellow and it's rubbery. I know it's kind of hard to see. But then you know it's safe to paint. Obviously, you don't want to scrub your brush over it because you don't want to lift any of that masking fluid up. So you want to be gentle. But I'm just going to start by taking my olive green, so a lighter green, and then we will work in the shadows. And I'm just using my size 2 brush to start. I'm going to do a line kind of up here and then little kind of pine needles towards the top. And they're still kind of facing up towards the top of the tree. And then they will start to slowly move down and have these kind of swoopy branches. Now remember, branches go in all different directions. It's not just to the side. So I'm going to have some going out this way, and it's not going to be too much of a detailed tree, okay? Just have fun with it. You just want to have these swoopy kind of marks and see how the paint kind of goes right over top of the masking fluid. Like that. And I'm trying to still keep it wet with my light green because we're going to go in and add some darker green for some shadow after. Even if you want to add a little bit of like yellow in there to get like a brighter green. I'm filling most of it in, especially close to the center. And I'm just going down in this triangular formation. And then as we get close to the bottom here, those branches are sticking straight down, like all around the tree. Okay. And I'm just filling it in. Like so. Okay. And then before it dries, I'm just going to add a little bit of water on my brush just to make sure it's all nice and wet. Before it dries, I'm going to grab some dark green. And my perylene green. And I'm just going to start dropping it in some of the areas, especially right down the center. I'm going to leave some of the areas light. Okay, and I want these to act like some shadows. Okay, and if you have too much shadow, you can just wash and dry off your brush and just kind of lift some of the color up in some places. Just wash and dry it off. Like that. Then I'm going to take some burnt umber. Do a little trunk at the bottom. Like that. And then I'm going to let the whole thing completely dry. Okay, now that it's dry, I'm just going to add a little bit more detail. So I kind of want to lighten up some areas. I might take a little bit of my white ink and just mix it a little bit with some of the green to get some lighter branches. For a little bit of texture, you can add a little bit of yellow to it so it looks like it's shining just a little bit. To get some light branches in there. And then I'm going to do the same by getting some darker branches in there, just for a little bit of texture, just so it doesn't look so flat. And then we're going to let this, again, completely dry so we can take up the masking fluid. And you don't want to do it while there's still wet paint, because then that will smudge into those little areas that you're trying to make perfectly white. All right, so let this completely dry. Okay, now that it's dry, we can lift up the masking fluid, and you're just going to use your finger to lift up these little dots. So it reveals the white paper underneath. Now, little tricks with masking fluid. Make sure you test it out on your paper first, because some papers I find rip fairly easily, and you don't want that. Okay? So just make sure it is compatible with your paper. Can't remember which papers of mine didn't work as well, but some of them did not. Okay, so see how it reveals the white underneath, which is awesome because now we can paint whatever color on top. And again, if you don't have masking fluid, you can just use maybe even acrylic paint to paint some decorations on top. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can just use some opaque paint to go on top. It does not have to be done like this by any means. Okay, or you could use gold, silver, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my small brush and some red. And I'm gonna do some of these bright red. I'm gonna leave a little bit of white reflection. And the reason why we make sure that the paper is white underneath, especially with watercolor, is because watercolor, some of them are a little bit more opaque than other colors, but if we were to layer this red on top of the green after doing all of the tree branches underneath, it would not be this bright, okay? You would get kind of like a brown undertone to it, because if you layer a transparent color like red on top of green, you're going to see that color underneath. Okay, so you just want to make sure, you want to give it the best opportunity to be the brightest it can be. Like, look how bright those are. So cute. I'm just trying to decide where I want to put them all. I might do some other colors. Maybe like a blue or should I just do all red? I don't know. Let's do, I think I like the red. I like how it's popping. Red and yellow maybe? No, I'm going to do red. And then I think at the end, I'm going to take some of my gold paint. So gold will layer nicely on top of any color really. And I'll just do little gold dots. If you do want to take it a little step further and just get a little bit more shadow in there, you can grab some dark red and just kind of tap it on the opposite side of the highlight, just for a little bit more depth. Up to you though, you definitely don't have to do that. Like that, and then like I said, some gold just because it looks really cute. Or whatever colors you want. And I'll just maybe do like a little garland of gold dots like that. And then maybe even a gold star. Like so. And there is our simple Christmas tree. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you tomorrow for our next advent calendar video, our last one, the 24th. I'm a little sad, but it'll be great. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.